Oh, hey there. I'm going to share with you my thoughts on Castellans. This is a game set in the world of Valeria from Daily Magic Games. Let's check it out. Thank you for joining me here at Tantrum Mouse Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Today I'm talking about a board game from Daily Magic Games called Castellans. It's a competitive dice drafting and area control game for 1 to 5 players. It takes about 1 to 2 hours, or maybe longer, depending on player count. In today's video, I'll give you a brief overview of the game, then discuss the critiques and commendations of the game. Now, Castellans revolves around dice drafting and area control. Players are going to draft dice to gather resources and take actions, such as building manors, temples, monuments, and all the time vying for influence in guilds and districts. The game lasts 5 rounds, with scoring phases rewarding players for their strategic placements and resource management. Let me share a little bit more in depth on how a round works. A round in Castellans of Valeria consists of 3 main phases: dice drafting, action phase, and the scoring phase. Dice drafting phase, here we go. A player will roll a certain number of dice to be drafted. These dice display different icons: wood, stone, food, gold, influence, magic. Drafting a die grants the corresponding resource or benefit immediately, like moving up a track. Now, players take turns spending the dice they drafted to perform actions. Each die face corresponds to specific actions: building manors or temples. It requires resources like wood or stone to place buildings in the city districts, granting guild influence and unlocking powers. You could recruit citizens, spending food to recruit characters that provide bonuses and abilities, often tied to the guild system. Trading with ships, using dice to place goods on wharf cards, earning resources or victory points. Ships can also move between districts for strategic positioning. Harvesting resources, generate additional resources based on the dice you selected. Optionally, you can enhance it with food to build windmills. Additionally, players may construct monuments such as gates, war towers, or statues by spending gold, each offering specific scoring benefits and potential influence rewards. Each action may also trigger bonuses such as gaining influence in specific guilds or additional resources for matching the die face to the action type. This phase allows players to expand their presence in districts while leveraging asymmetric powers unlocked through citizen recruitment and manor building. Now, the scoring phase, at the end of each round, players calculate influence and area majority in specific districts. All right, I'm going to give critiques and then end with commendations. Now, there's a lot going on, so it might be overwhelming for players, which could lead to analysis paralysis. A minor critique: the sheer number of choices could really slow down the gameplay. Players face tough decisions during the action phase, balancing the dice usages for resource, actions, and bonuses. Each move can impact guild influences, area control, and long-term scoring opportunities, making it easy to overthink every decision. Another small critique is that there's a tableau of cards, which brings some luck into the game. I'm putting it into the critique section. Even though I do like the cards, I think the game could have been okay without the cards. It's just another thing to keep track of in the game. Another critique are that the yellow and orange player pieces are pretty similar. I wish that maybe another color was chosen instead of maybe the yellow or the orange. Okay, if you're new to the Valeria series of games, Castellans might take a little bit longer to learn because of its iconography. The game uses a lot of symbols to represent resources, actions, and abilities, elements that may not be immediately familiar to players who haven't encountered other games in the Valeria universe. This can make the learning curve steeper as players spend time getting used to the meanings behind the various icons. But of course, this could be a benefit if you've already played games from Daily Magic Games in the Valeria universe. Which does bring me to the commendations, my likes. Okay, first of all, the components. The components enhance the tactile and visual experience in the game. I really like all that's going on with the different pieces. I really like the in-set player boards, allowing players to organize all their pieces without the accidental disruptions during gameplay. The wooden player pieces, They're each screen printed with unique designs, and it really adds a great touch to the game. They not only improve the usability, but also immerse players in the Valeria universe with all that cool aesthetic. I also enjoy games with good player rates, and Castellans has a foldable one that details all the parts that are needed, especially the action phase. The board game box has great organization too. Each player has their own container, which I really like. Another big combination is the gameplay, the strategic depth. I enjoy games that need careful planning and maybe a little adaptability as you decide what to do on your turn. The use of dice, both as resource and actions, has a satisfying mix of strategy and maybe a little bit of luck, of course. The competitive nature of the game adds another layer as players are trying to predict and counter what their opponents are trying to do, especially in those contested districts. That's key to the game, that area majority, area control. The variety of strategies available are really great, whether you're going to focus on the citizen abilities, building the monuments, or the resources. There's a lot to think about. Now, I know I mentioned some of this could add to the analysis paralysis, so you just need to know this going in, especially if that's something you might struggle with. I'm okay with making decisions, even if it isn't the perfect one. All right, in conclusion, I've really enjoyed my plays of Castellans. I love dice drafting games and area control, and this game really does it well. If you want a game that has even more of that dice drafting plus area control, then maybe check out Minos Dawn of the Bronze Age from Board and Dice. If you want something about the same level and maybe trying to compare this to, maybe Coimbra from Eggerspiel. It's a dice drafting game that has some other things going on as well. But if you want something super streamlined and you just want dice drafting, check out Sagrada from Floodgate. And one that you can check out maybe next year that's coming out is Ada's Dream from Alley Cat Games. Let me know in the comments if you played any of the ones I mentioned, and if you enjoyed dice drafting games. I'd love to hear about that. Please like this video and subscribe to Tantrum House.